deal with the merits. And what are the merits? The merits are our appeal against the decision of the High Court, which in effect rescinded or set aside the Court of Appeal decision sentencing Mr. Murupisi to serve effectively 7 years in prison.
Judge Lesetedi also ordered that Murupisi must pay cost of dismissed recusal application and ordered that the state expedited appeal will be held on the 11th of February this year, and that the judges will issue reasons for the dismissals of the applications on the 21st of February this year. Unkutle Tamare, BTV News, Court of Appeal, Haburo.
Moshopa senior secondary school learners have been challenged to familiarize themselves with the Children's Act to acquire necessary skills and use the law to protect themselves against all forms of child abuse and exploitation. This was emphasized by different speakers on Wednesday in Moshopa, where the First Lady Ms. Kaone Boko donated sanitary pads, toilet paper and mattresses. Kebadiritse Muthusi reports.
When apprising the First Lady, Ms. Kaone Boko, on the school's developments, the school head, Mr. Hubert Stumo, highlighted that teenage pregnancy still remains a challenge, indicating that parents fail to utilize the Children's Act and other necessary legal frameworks to hold perpetrators accountable.
This term alone, we have lost 4 students due to pregnancy. And we have indicated that there's no student who will be withdrawn from the school without a report from the police or the social workers, so that we should not be also perpetrators of defilement.
The First Lady underscored the importance of raising awareness on children's rights to both parents and learners, saying this can help identify all forms of child abuse and possible avenues where they can seek help.
You are at the age where you are going to be responsible for each and every decision you take. So please choose wisely. Gona na ha le taba go te le bidwa bo defilement go buiwa le lona go re lotlhe ba tla be le defielana le lona ha le mo sekolonyana le khona go defielana. Do you know ha se gore go tawa le ba ba kontle. So you need to be very careful. You need to protect yourselves. Ha go monate go prison ba teng ba le kana le lona hela ya. So please, whatever you do, you must decide and choose the right path.
The government of Botswana is committed to your rights. And this is demonstrated through this book, which I expect everybody, every one of you, to have and to know.
Try and take advantage of the opportunity.
Students were also implored to strive for excellence as government continues to create a conducive environment for learning. Kebadiritse Motlosi, BTV News, Moshopa.
A leading scholar of telecommunications engineering at the Botswana International University of Science Technology, BUST, Dr. Mudisa Mosalaosi, has called for more funding into research and product development within the education sector, emphasizing that such initiatives can catapult Botswana and the African region into being at the forefront of driving technology, in the process building strong economies. Dr. Mosalaosi was speaking during a practical interaction between Masak College learners and BOTSWANA team from BUST in Kang. Baines Busiho reports.
Students of Macha College interacting with the specialist team of BOTSWANA as part of the reach out to different stakeholders about the looming launch of the satellite BOTSWANA. Dr. Mudisa Mosalaosi says adequate funding of research and science is critical as it can help countries like Botswana become pioneers in engineering, especially at a time when the African region is seen only as consumers of modern technology and goods.
If you do not do research, you would not know exactly what can come out of the technology. So there's a technology and you also want to learn more as what it can do. So countries like South Korea, Japan, or to name a few, they've done really a good job. They spend a lot of money on research. And I believe that that's the direction that Botswana should take, because when you research on anything, you not only become a consumer, you also become a pioneer of the technologies.
A teacher of computer studies says collaboration between higher education institutions and basic education like Macha College helps students transition and gain interest in engineering careers such as telecommunications, astronomy, and physics.
To have collaboration with other higher institutions, especially in the STEM, medicine, science, and engineering, and also technology, because most students don't do well in those areas here. You find that mostly social sciences and languages.
This 16-year-old learner says all he knows was that he wanted a career as a farmer to advance the family's legacy. But now he's having second thoughts after this interaction.
I just wanted to be a farmer because I only know that being a farmer is the one or is the biggest career that can help the economy of Botswana, right? But yeah, I understood, oh, the satellites, we need satellites, right? Then I can go and enter that and do some careers that they gave us.
The BOTSWANA is a national project which will see the country launching its first satellite into orbit in space next month. A landmark development which is envisaged to assist in sectors such as agriculture, land management, and tourism. Botswana joins other countries in the African region, such as Nigeria, Rwanda, Zimbabwe, who have already launched satellites into space orbit. Baines Bosego, BTV News, Kano.
Thank you for staying with BTV News at 9 o'clock. The Assistant Minister of Local Government and Traditional Affairs, Mr. Ignatius Moswane, commended contractors in the Okavango region for their diligence in construction, despite facing challenges of having to deal with construction-unfriendly soils. He said this recently during his tour of the ongoing construction of a primary school, estimated at 80 million pula in Shagawe. Tiny Tsukudu and Kiletlelezwe Somolekai compiled the report.
The primary school project consists of academic facilities at the cost of 54 million and staff houses worth 25 million pula. The ministry went on a quest around the country for close inspection of buildings and established their current status. However, the contractors in the Okavango area are faced with a mammoth task to find ways to adapt to the loose soils, which extends the period of construction due to the need to establish a more rigid and strong foundation to avoid structural failure. Many of the projects this site are faced with the challenge of soils unsuitable for constructions. However, I am pleased with the work being done by contractors this site. They work diligently and are keen to produce results. The soil challenge in Okavango district emerged to be the hindrance to many contractors in the area.
Currently where we are at 45% of the project against 54% progress. Mabaka a matona e le gore go re ka January re simolla go project ena re itsetse le gore selekanyo sa mmu ke mmu o wela kgaolo.
The completion of the construction of 25 staff houses is anticipated in October, with academic facilities going up to the end of the year. Kiletlelezwe Somolekai, BTV News.
The Chief Environmental Health Officer at the Gaborone City Council, Mr. Patrick Oleseng, has confirmed that there is an infestation of houseflies around Gaborone and that this is caused by the wet season. Mr. Oleseng says flies breeding is encouraged by dampness, hence the outbreak. BTV News reporter Horata Moranyani engaged the City Council Health Officer in an interview recently.
In recent weeks, social media was abuzz with complaints about the surge of flies which are invading people's homes around Gaborone. In most cases, infestations are caused by poor sanitation. However, Mr. Oleseng from the Environmental Health Office confirmed that this time this attributed to the recent rains.
The phologolo dingwe le dingwe di na le season ya tsone. I would like to assume gore gongwe koketsego yone e causiwa thata ke the wet seasons that we are experiencing, because breeding ya tsone e encouragea thata ke dampness ka gore dintsi thera di na le ga di ka beela mae ya tsone teng, go be go nna le yone issue ya hygiene or sanitation le yone even one of the factors that contributes to increase.
Street vendors around Gaborone expressed great concern about this issue, which is impacting negatively on their businesses.
The
flies have increased in numbers as compared to the previous year. They are everywhere in dustbins and on trees. The problem now is that they affect the businesses, as it makes it hard for customers to buy as it looks untidy. These flies are now a huge problem, especially for us who sell food. It's affecting our business. I try to cover the food all times to prevent flies from infesting the food.
Mr.
Oleseng advised residents and food enthusiasts on measures that can help curb the infestation and reduce associated health risks.
So are khurumele di bini tsa rona are bona gore re ka tsenya mo di bini re se ka tsenya sengwe sengwe mo di bini se se bolang to attract dintsi.
Let us cover our dustbins and make sure we do not put anything that will attract flies in there. Lastly, we should protect ourselves from flies and avoid leaving our windows open. In business facilities, we usually advise that they use fly traps to reduce these flies. As the rainy season continues, the public is urged to stay vigilant and proactive on fly prevention measures to safeguard their health and well-being. Khorata Moranyani, BTV News, Gaborone.
In international news, officials in Mexico have embarked on a mission to crack down on tunnels connecting Mexico and the United States. This comes after a tunnel was discovered during an inspection of drains along the border. The tunnel is well built with proper ventilation, lighting, and wooden structures to keep it intact. It is believed the tunnel was used as a route to transport illegal immigrants and drugs into the U.S. Authorities in Mexico said they sealed the tunnel on their end and will continue to look for more tunnels and cut off access to the tunnel. They also said they have increased border patrols to keep illegal immigrants from entering the U.S. and risk their lives.
It is lined with wooden beams, as you will be able to see. It has beams, it has wood to prevent collapses. We have increased search activities to detect other tunnels, if there are any, and our presence will be maintained permanently.
Our main purpose is to protect migrants and ensure they don't risk their lives trying to enter the United States illegally. However, after the discovery of this tunnel, we're also focused on searching for other tunnels in the area.
Jose Honko is standing by to give us sport.
Let me thank you, Khomso, and good evening. This is Hosronkwe with the Botswana Tonight Sports News. And with that, let's kickstart with the top story. In the First Division South encounter played at the SSG grounds, and Otone FC dissipated Police 11 dreams of climbing to the top of the league, battering them 2-1 to elevate to the 4th place in the league with 16 points. Paco Streke with the report.
Toronto Sechaba, as Notwani is affectionately known to its supporters, went into the first half with clear intentions of bringing down the former Premier League side Police 11, launching waves of attacks which forced Police 11 to play a more defensive game. Notwani's relentless pressure did not pay any dividends, however, as the game went to recess on a goalless stalemate. After the halftime break, the Jungle Kings, as Police 11 is affectionately known, came back rejuvenated, fighting from all flanks searching for an opening goal. Police 11 once again proved to their supporters why they are chasing the top spot in the league, scoring the first goal of the match on the 6th minute of the second half. In response, Notwani made some changes as the game progressed, and that bore fruit on the 87th minute as they got the equalizer from the penalty spot. Then in the last minutes of added time, Notwani FC solidified their win with a stunning goal from Utusegile Skepe Botswetswe to end the game 2-1 in favor of Notwani FC.
No, my boys lacked energy most of the time. I think the last 15 when we changed, that's when they clicked. It's only that we wanted to dominate the midfield, and of course police matched us in the midfield. From there, that's when we see, they're giving us a tough time. Why not give another second time and then we introduce somebody to go up and play with our striker? That's when we started playing. The changes that we made, we wanted that guy because he's holding balls most of the time. He's not a person who put the balls away. And that's actually worked for us. And he actually introduced us to play the passes, more especially in the last third of Police 11. But Police gave us a tough time, so it was a tough game.
Not taking any credit from Notwani, they did well, they put in good substitute. The turning point was when we started looking for the winning goal, that's when they caught us with the counter-attack. I think as a team, I think we took it casually that maybe the game is over, 5 minutes to go, we are wrapping up the game, and unfortunately it was never meant to be. I think also our defenders, well, for the better half of the game they did well. And that last 5 minutes when they put in those two tall guys, they applied so much pressure and we cracked. But all in all, I think we had a very good game. We take the positives out of the defeat and we move on.
Police 11's second loss leaves them second in the First Division South League log standings with 18 points, while Notwani FC's fourth win elevated them to the fourth spot with 16 points. Pako Sterek, BTV Sport, Gaborone.
Botswana Football Association yesterday held a memorial service in honor of the late Samuel Bratiza Sekgapane. The service held at Likile Football Center was a moment of remembrance and a celebration of his contributions to Botswana football. The 88-year-old Samuel Sekgapane passed on the 31st of January and will be laid to rest on Saturday in Gaborone. Tshegofatso Malepa has the full story.
Samuel Sekgapane, popularly known as Bratiza in the football circles, was born in South Africa in 1937 before settling in Botswana. He was known for his passion for football, which was evident from a young age.
Samuel Boy Sekgapane.
His full names are Samuel Boy Sekgapane. Uncle Tiza lived for football and was born in Kroonstad and grew up in Alexandra. Bratiza was a gifted player with remarkable talent and football knowledge, which he later utilized as a coach. He worked with several local teams, including Happy Hearts, Black Pearl, and BDF 11, amongst others.
One of my former playmates and friend of many years, it saddens me. We played together during my big 15 days. I remember his days at Swallows too. Indeed, he was very, very good and midfield player, a very good midfield player, and a very good friend beyond the soccer field.
That a legend like him from Swallows would still have the time for anyone, small child like me, and give me hours upon, and I'm not exaggerating when I say hours upon hours. You know, when Uncle T and I used to watch any football game, whether it was a World Cup match on TV or whether we'd stop on the side of the road, during the game you don't speak to Uncle T. Uncle T takes out pen and paper and just starts drawing, writing, formations, tactics. You only speak to him afterwards.
I am a coach because I was handpicked by Tiza for me to be a coach. I believe he saw that I had the brains to coach. He recommended me for the coaching job when he was my coach at BDF 11. Speaking at the memorial service, Botswana Football Association President Tarik Babitseng expressed his appreciation for the unity within the football fraternity since taking over leadership. He expressed hope that this solidarity would continue, encompassing both past and future football heroes.
Jenny, we achieved a lot of things. One of them, besides unifying the football fraternity, we achieved
Since the assumption of office, we have achieved a lot besides unifying the football fraternity. We have managed to bring back supporters to the grounds, and the drive is ongoing. Former leaders are also coming to the party to have an input. This is the passion we are looking for and what drives us right now as an association. We have included football legends in our activities and we will continue to engage them even further.
The
late football legend Bratiza will be remembered for scoring 15 goals against Botswana 11 while playing for Morocco Swallows Big 15 in 1966. Bratiza passed away on the 31st of January and will be laid to rest on Saturday in Gaborone. Tsagofatso Malepa, PTV Sport, Liquid Football Center, Gaborone.
And that is all that we had for you from Botswana Tonight Sports Desk. Until we meet tomorrow, have a blessed night. Now let's take a reminder of the headlines.
Government committed to establish a sustainable fiscal policy that will improve the state of public finances. Former PSP Katamuru PC loses with cost his appeal for recusal of Justice Isaac Lesetedi and Justice Latile Dambe.
And in sports, Notwane FC extinguishes Police 11's dreams of climbing to the top of the First Division South League.
Khosogonkwe bringing us to the end of our news bulletin this Thursday evening. Topo Taposa was in sign language. Up next is the weather. BTV News, Ikanyarona.
Of Eye on SADC. Wreath-laying ceremony held at Heroes Eka to mark 1 year since Dr. Hage Geingop's death. Sales of rough diamonds to be a great platform for Botswana. And Samsung Africa awards certificates to 23 graduates in Lesotho. Good afternoon and welcome to Eye on SADC. I am Raymond Sikukutu. Many thanks for joining us. Leading this bulletin, Namibia's President Nangolo Mbumba and Vice President Netumbo Nandi Ndaitwah were among those who laid wreaths at the mausoleum of the late President Dr. Hage Geingob. Family members of the late Geingob, invited dignitaries and senior state officials gathered at Heroes Eka to lay wreaths and commemorate the first anniversary of the death of the late statesman.
It is well with my soul.
The atmosphere was somber, evident in the expressions and demeanor of those in attendance.